Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We begin in the name of Almighty Allah, the most magnificent, the ever merciful. We do glorify Him, we praise Him, and of course we elevate His name as He ought to be elevated. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, I extend to you the eternal and of course the universal salutation of peace. May the peace, blessings, and mercies of Almighty Allah be upon you and yours. A most pleasant good morning going out to you and yours on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. Of course, we are coming towards the end of another week. We are heading towards the weekend. As always, I do pray and hope that you are healthy, you are well, you are enjoying a period of happiness, prosperity, and well-being. Well, I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Safraz Ghani, here in your company once again on this auspicious and holy day of Friday, the day of Jum'ah here in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, allow me first up to take the opportunity to extend to you a warm Jummah Mubarak greeting. And of course, I also want to take the opportunity to say a very special thank you going out to Pandit Shivan Hari Prasad for his previous rendition, for his words of inspiration and of course motivation. And we do wish him a safe and a speedy trip back home. All praises are due to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the magnificent, the merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. O Allah, it is you do we worship, and from you only do we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your favor, not the path of those who have evoked your anger, nor the path of those who have gone astray. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Well, today's Islamic date is the 24th day in the month of Muharram, which of course is the first month on the Islamic calendar. We are currently in the new year, the year 1448. As a matter of fact, this week coming up, we are now coming to the end of this particular month. So on the evening of this coming Wednesday, which will be the 15th of this particular month, the 15th of July, on that particular evening, the moon will be looked for to bring to an end this month, the first month on the Islamic calendar, the month of Muharram. If the moon is sighted, the new month will start on Thursday. If the moon is not sighted, the new month will then start on next week, Friday. So it's all down to the sighting of the moon, which of course will be done on the evening of this coming Wednesday, which is the 15th of July. Today also coincides with the second Friday in the month of July for the year 2026. May Almighty Allah continue to grant us the understanding and the ability to use our time wisely. Well, on that note, as we are now coming to we are getting ready to commence the holy day of Jum'ah here in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, allow me now to take the opportunity to officially welcome you live on air, live on the internet, live across our social feeds as well on Facebook and on YouTube for this weekly program titled Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment. Whatever you do, definitely do stick around. We've got lots of cram into this particular hour, all the way up to the 6 o'clock mark. Once again, it's a pleasure to have you on board with us here on 103.1 FM.
رقت عيناي شوقا ولطيبة ذرفت عشقا فأتيت إلى حبيبي فاهدأ يا قلب ورفقا صلي على محمد السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله يا رسول الله قلب بالحق تعلق وبغار حراء تألق يبكي يسأل خالقه فأتاه الوحي فأشرق اقرأ اقرأ يا محمد. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله يا رسول الله. يا طيبة جئتك صبا لرسول الله محبا. بالروضة سكنت روحي وجوار الهادي محمد. يا طيبة جئتك صبا لرسول الله محبا. بالروضة سكنت روحي وجوار الهادي محمد. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله يا رسول الله.
Yes, indeed, you're tuned into Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM with yours truly, Imam Safraz Ghani. And as always, I must say it's indeed an absolute honor and, of course, a personal pleasure to be in your company once again for around about the next hour or so. As, of course, we work our way through this particular hour all the way up to the 6 o'clock mark. I've got lots to share with you as we continue on with this particular episode of Soul Inspirations. Well, the program this morning is being brought to you with the kind courtesies of Absolute Investments Limited, the Original Barbecue Hut Limited, Nitsa Brand Products Limited, Adams Project Management and Construction Limited, and Point 14 Hardware Limited. And of course, you can shoot me a message via the WhatsApp number 2994103. Thank you so much to all those who have messaged on the program thus far. Alternatively, you can shoot me a message via the social feeds on Facebook and on YouTube. And of course, those are the two options you've got to view the live stream of this morning's program. Open YouTube, go to your search bar, type in Imam Safraz Ghani, that'll give you option number 1. Open Facebook, go to your search bar, type in Safraz Ghani, that'll give you option number 2 to view a live stream of this morning's program. Well, in the program this morning, we've got a very, very intriguing segment as always lined up for you. In a short bit, we've got our inspirational segment coming up. We've got the early morning call to prayer as well in a short bit as well. And of course, we've got a few beautiful Islamic selections coming your way. We've got our lecture segment coming up in a short bit. And this morning, I'm talking about a very, very important topic. I'm talking about parents manipulating the minds of their children against the other parents, so to speak. So that's our talking point for this morning. It's a very, very important talking point that'll be coming up in our lecture segment a bit later on. In the meantime, though, let me share with you another beautiful Islamic rendition. Definitely, you are listening to Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM.
Allah, Allah, الصبح بدا من تلعته والليل دجى من وفرته الله 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 فمحمدنا هو سيدنا فللزلنا لإجابته جبريل أتى ليلة أسرى والرب دعا في الهدرته كنز الكرم مولى النعم هادي الأمم لشريعته سأتي الشجر نتقى الهجر شق القمر بإشارته
Allah's blessings and mercies to you and yours on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. Of course, as we give thanks for another day, we give thanks for another opportunity in our lives to become better individuals and, of course, to come closer to the Almighty. And when you look at life, life doesn't always feel fair. Sometimes life could be really, really unfair. Some seasons, sometimes some periods within our lives can seem heavier than some. Sometimes it can feel as though we are carrying a very, very large burden. But I want to tell you this, deep within you is a remarkable capacity to adapt. Allah has blessed you with a remarkable capacity to endure, to grow, and to use the situation to your advantage. And oftentimes, you will discover your strength only after you have been called upon to use it. Like they say, you discover your true strength when your back is against the wall, so to speak. So as you go through the course of this day, as you go through the course of your life, always try your best to make the best out of whatever comes your way. Whether it's something positive or whether if it's something negative, whatever comes your way, make the best out of it. Optimism, positivity, and gratitude will chase away the negativity from your life. Not only that, but these aspects, these characteristics, optimism, positivity, and gratitude will open up a beautiful outlook on life for yourself. So today, look ahead with positivity and let your main mission be to become a better person and also to connect yourself with the Almighty much more than you ever did in your life. So today I say to you, may Allah bless you this day. May He bless you this upcoming week, this upcoming month. May He remove all the challenges and obstacles from your path. May He open the doors of mercy upon you, and may He continue to guide you towards all that is good in this life as well as in the life of the hereafter. Well, the program this morning is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of Absolute Investments Limited, The Original Barbecue Hut Limited, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Adams Project Management and Construction Limited, and Point 14 Hardware Limited. Well, just around the corner, we've got our inspirational segment coming up. Definitely do stick around. You're listening to Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM. So I want to start our inspirational segment this morning by making a statement. And that statement is this: that in order for you to achieve success in any aspect of your life, success depends on those things that you are able to connect yourself with, simultaneously those things that you're able to disconnect yourself from. It's a balancing act, and it's something that has to happen simultaneously. You have to connect yourself to the right things, and at the same time you have to disconnect yourself from the wrong things. And that right there is the simple recipe for success. Now, I want to give you an example that will help you to understand that concept a little better. Now, I want you to imagine a person who's standing on a cliff on the edge of a mountain. Now, his aim is to get down from that cliff safely. Now, that person, he has two pieces of ropes attached to him. One rope is attached to a parachute. The other rope is tied to and attached to a huge boulder. Now, that's the scenario I want you to imagine. Now, in that situation, the person who's standing on the cliff in that particular scenario has four options in front of him. Three of those options would lead to his destruction. Only one option would lead to his salvation. Now let's go through these four options. Option number one, he can decide in the moment to disconnect both ropes. He can decide to cut the rope to the parachute and also cut the rope to the boulder. That, of course, would lead to his destruction. Option number two, he can decide in that moment to keep both ropes attached to himself. That option will also lead to his destruction. Because if he jumps with the parachute connected and also with the boulder connected, he might, soar into the heavens for a short while. But because of the sheer weight of the boulder, that in itself will pull him down. So the second option is also an option that would lead to his destruction. The third option is that he can decide in that particular moment to sever the rope that is connected to the parachute, and he can decide to leave the rope that is attached to the boulder connected. And of course, that also would lead to his destruction. Now the fourth option, and this is the only option that would lead to his salvation, is that if in that particular scenario he decides to sever the rope that is connected to the boulder, and at the same instance he decides to leave the rope that is connected to the parachute, that is the only option that would lead to his salvation. So again, I go back to the initial statement that I made. Success is all about those things that you're able to connect yourself with, simultaneously those things that you're able to disconnect yourself from. You will have to connect yourself to positivity. And in the same instance, you will have to disconnect yourself from negativity. Almighty Allah has created each man with these two ropes attached to him. Rope number one, positivity, obedience, goodness. Rope number two, negativity, disobedience, and evil. And it's a balancing act. And I want you to imagine your life as a house. Now, inside this house, you have an unlimited supply of electricity. You have the power to light up every room, to run every appliance, and to create warmth. But what happens if you plug your most valuable appliances into a faulty, short-circuiting outlet? What happens if you let energy draining, broken machinery run in the background day and night? Of course, it drains your power. Your lights will begin to flicker, and eventually you will be left to sit in the dark. So it's indeed a most critical maintenance work that you will have to do for your mind and your soul. And I'm talking about the deliberate daily practice of connecting yourself to positivity and at the exact same time disconnecting yourself from negativity. Every single day you wake up and you choose where to plug your attention, where to plug your time, where to plug your energy. And there are only two outlets in this life, the positive outlet and the negative outlet. The negative outlet will drain your focus. The negative outlet will feed your anxieties and will breed doubt in your mind. On the other hand, the positive outlet recharges and rejuvenates your ambition. It builds your resilience and it gives you clarity to move forward. Now, the problem is that negativity is loud. It screams for your attention. It is in the morning news cycle, the toxic co-worker, the gossiping friend, the critical voice in your head. If you are not careful, you will automatically plug into negativity just by default. So that is something you need to be very, very mindful of. And there is an art to disconnecting. Disconnecting from negativity is not cruel. It is not selfish. It is self-preservation. It's an art that you have to learn and master. You cannot live a positive life with a negative mind. And you cannot have a positive mind if you are surrounded with toxic inputs. So you will have to set boundaries. You will have to protect your peace from chronic complainers. You will have to filter different inputs. You will have to turn off the noise, the drama, the naysayers. You will have to audit your circles. You will have to spend time with people who challenge you to grow, not those who feed your misery. And remember this, you do not owe your peace to anyone else's chaos. It is okay to walk away from tables where respect, growth, and joy are no longer being served. By pulling the plug on the negativity, that's only half of the battle. You will then have to connect to a source of positivity. If after you are able to unplug from negativity, if you leave the cord unplugged, you are just as empty. You must actively plug into positive sources. Connecting to positivity requires intention. It does not happen by accident. So you will have to practice radical gratitude. Force your brain to look for what is working. Literally train your mind to seek out the positive aspects of your life. Start consuming inspiring content. Read inspiring books, listen to inspiring podcasts, study people who were able to achieve success. And you will have to protect your mornings. Use the first 20 or 30 minutes of the day to fill your mind with silence, with prayer, with purpose. Because when you intentionally connect to positivity, your perspective shifts. You stop seeing obstacles as dead ends and you start seeing them as lessons. You stop seeing failure as an identity, and you see it as feedback. And life will always throw surges of negativity your way. Crisis will happen. Difficult people will come your path. Disappointments are guaranteed, but you are the master electrician, so to speak, of your own life, and you hold the plug in your hand. So today, look at your life. Look at the people you text. Look at the account you follow on social media. Monitor the thoughts that are repeated in your mind and ask yourself, is all of this charging me, or is it draining me? And if it is draining you, have the courage to pull the plug. Unplug from the drama, unplug from the doubt, unplug from the negativity, and unplug from the decay. But in the same instance, at the same moment, plug into hope, plug into growth, plug into the limitless potential of your own future. Keep your connection clean and keep your light burning bright, because your success is once again dependent on those things that you're able to connect yourself with. Simultaneously, it depends on those things that you're able to disconnect yourself from. Well, at this point on the program, we now go to the early morning call to prayer. The early morning call to prayer is being brought to you this morning through the kind courtesies of Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Canupia.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدًا رسول أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله، حي على الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، حي على الفلاح، الصلاة الصلاة خير من النوم. الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
سال دمعي شوقا يا حبيبي إليك، فاض قلبي عشقا بالصلاة عليك. طارت روحي حبا في المنام إليك، رام كل قربا سيدي لبيك. قلبي في المدينة وجد السكينة، قال يا نبينا السلام عليك. قلبي في المدينة وجد السكينة، محمد نبينا السلام عليك. صلوات الله وسلامه عليك يا رسول الله، صلوات الله وسلامه عليك يا حبيب الله. صلوات الله وسلامه عليك يا رسول الله، صلوات الله وسلامه عليك يا حبيب الله. رسول الله حبيب الله، رسول الله حبيب الله. يا أبا الزهراء كم أحن إليك، للقبات الخضراء جئت أصلي عليك. يا جد الحسنين محمد يا زين، يا من جئتنا بشرى طه نور العين. قلبي في المدينة وجد السكينة، قال يا نبينا السلام عليك. قلبي في المدينة وجد السكينة، محمد نبينا السلام عليك. صلوات الله وسلامه عليك يا رسول الله، صلوات الله وسلامه عليك يا حبيب الله. صلوات الله وسلامه عليك يا رسول الله، صلوات الله وسلامه عليك يا حبيب الله. رسول الله حبيب الله، رسول الله حبيب الله، رسول الله حبيب الله، رسول الله حبيب الله. قلبي في المدينة وجد السكينة، محمد نبينا السلام عليك.
Allah has given me a cotton candy sky, a little bit of blue, pink, purple and white. I sometimes see the gray and I sometimes feel the rain, but I'll see the colors of the cotton candy sky again. I see the red of my mother's love, the true blue of my father's hugs. I see the orange of my siblings' smile, I see the pink and the white of the love of my life, and the deep, deep green that all children bring are the coolness of my eyes. For Allah has given me a cotton candy sky, a little bit of blue, pink, purple and white. I sometimes see the gray and I sometimes feel the rain, but I'll see the colors of the cotton candy sky again. Whenever I am down, I look up to the sky and I see the signs from Allah Most High. Most of all I see light, endless light upon light. Mercy from Allah who is yours and mine, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Rabb al-Alameen. Bismillah, and again I begin. Allah has given me a cotton candy sky, a little bit of blue, pink, purple and white. I sometimes see the gray and I sometimes feel the rain, but I'll see the colors of the cotton candy sky again. I see the yellow like a sunflower smile of an orphan girl who says Alhamdulillah, or a mother who lost her child, sees him waiting on a throne of gold so high, or a father who holds his stride, working hard every day and is firm in his faith, burning bright like a beautiful crimson flame. Says, Allah, keep my family safe. For Allah has given me a cotton candy sky, a little bit of blue, pink, purple and white. I sometimes see the gray and I sometimes feel the rain, but I'll see the colors of the cotton candy sky again. Whenever I am down, I look up to the sky and I see the signs from Allah Most High. Most of all I see light, endless light upon light. Mercy from Allah who is yours and mine. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Rabb al-Alameen. Bismillah, and again I begin.
Of course there are times, both yours and mine, when the tears in our eyes sting and blur out the light. But these lows bring the highs of the strength I have inside, to always see my cotton candy sky.
For Allah has given me a cotton candy sky, a little bit of blue, pink, purple and white. I sometimes see the gray and I sometimes feel the rain, but I'll see the colors of the cotton candy sky again.
فارتقي في الخير وارقى أفقا، إنها العلياء تبغي مسلما. أنت عنوان لأمجاد الأولى، فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء، فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء.
فارتقي في الخير وارقى أفقا، إنها العلياء تبغي مسلما. أنت عنوان لأمجاد الأولى، فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء، فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء.
لن ترى يوما ونجمك آفل، فارفع الرايات وامضي قدما.
تسرج القنديل
واشعل همة،
واركب الأهوال
مهما أظلما.
فارتقي في العزم دوما،
شامة في الناس رمزا، فارتقي في العزم دوما.
شامة في الناس رمزا،
فارتقي في الخير وارقى أفقا.
فارتقي في الخير وارقى أفقا، إنها العلياء تبغي مسلما. أنت عنوان لأمجاد الأولى، فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء، فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء. فارتقي في الخير وارقى أفقا.
من يروم المجد يجري أدمعا، تحت جنح الليل ليلا معتما. من يروم المجد يجري أدمعا، تحت جنح الليل ليلا معتما. أو يثير النقع في وجه العدا،
إن للجنات سحرا محكما.
فارتقي في العزم دوما وكن
شامة في الناس رمزا ملهما. فارتقي في الخير وارقى أفقا، إنها العلياء تبغي مسلما. أنت عنوان لأمجاد الأولى، فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء، فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء، فاهجر الأوحال واصعد في السماء.
Welcome back. I'm yours truly, Imam Safruz Ghani, host of this weekly program titled Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment on this beautiful Friday morning. Jummah Mubarak going out to you and yours. May the blessings and the mercies of the Almighty be with you always. Well, at this point on the program, we now get into our lecture segment. And this morning, I want to talk about a silent, devastating epidemic in modern parenting. It is the habits of parents to bad talk one another in front of their children and weaponizing them against the other parent, so to speak. The ills of parents manipulating the minds of their children against the other parent. I mean, when you point a finger at your partner or even your ex-partner for that matter in front of your child, you are not just criticizing an adult, you are tearing apart half of that life of that child's identity. Because to a child, they are 50% mom, 50% dad. And when you say things like your father is lazy or your mother is crazy, the child does not just think poorly of that parent. They look in the mirror and they think that there is something wrong with me as well. You force them into an impossible situation. You force them to choose a side. So what happens when a parents bad talk each other in front of their kids? Well, first of all, it teaches children that love is harmful. A child is supposed to believe that home is where love and respect live. When they hear one parent insulting the other, it doesn't just feel like a disagreement. It can feel like a form of danger. And over time, the child will begin to believe that relationships are supposed to be filled with sharp words, with disrespect and emotional harm. Secondly, it creates confusion and guilt. Many children immediately think to themselves, did I cause this? They might not say it's aloud, but they somehow feel responsible. When one parent is disrespected, when one parent is spoken badly about in front of the child starts to wonder, am I doing something wrong? And I can tell you that's a heavy burden to place on a small heart. Thirdly, it puts the child in the middle. Even if a parent says that I'm not asking you to choose sides, the child oftentimes ends up choosing from an emotional standpoint anyway. They might try to comfort one parent, they might avoid the other parent, they might relay information that they should not, they might even start acting differently because they're trying to make the fighting stop. And here's the part that we don't always talk about. Children become quiet observers. They are like a sponge. They soak it all up, and that's where they learn how to respond to moods. They learn which parent is safe to approach. They learn how to keep the peace. They learn that type of constant emotional monitoring. And that in itself is a very, very exhausting feat in itself. Fourthly, it can harm self-esteem and identity. When the child keeps hearing insults like, your father is useless, your mother is useless, they don't care about you, they are the problem, they are disgusting. Your child hears something else as well. They hear that the other parent is bad. And children are deeply concerned about their parents. They don't just love them, they identify with them. So when a parent is attacked, a child can also feel attacked as well. Fifthly, it can normalize conflict. If the home becomes a place where contempt and insults are spoken freely, then the child learns that conflict is something you handle with insults instead of respect. And a child watches how adults resolve problems. And long after the arguments are over, they still remember the words that were used, how they were used, in what context they were used, and what happened afterwards. Sixthly, and this is one of the most painful outcomes, it can damage a child's sense of safety. Safety is emotional, not just physical. When a child hears a parent talking about the other parent like an enemy, it creates a sense that love can disappear, that promises can be broken, and that the home can change instantly without warning. Now let's talk about something really important. Not all parents mean harm. Some parents are hurt. Many parents are grieving. Some people say mean things because they feel betrayed. Sometimes they speak badly because they've been hurt themselves. And I'm not telling you that emotions don't matter. I'm telling you that children, unfortunately, in most instances, tend to pay the heaviest price. A child may forget the specific details of what was said, but children rarely forget the feeling behind it. They remember the tension in the room. They remember the fear in someone's voice. They remember the way love sounded when it was mixed with cruelty. And those feelings become the stories they tell themselves about relationships all the way through their lives. So what can parents do to address this situation? Well, firstly, understand this truth. Understand that you can process your pain without turning your child into the messenger. If you have to vent, vent somewhere safe. Vent somewhere away from the child. Support groups, trusted friends, a therapist, a journal, structured counseling. Your child should not be the place where your bitterness goes to live. Secondly, stop speaking about your partner in front of your child. The goal is not to pretend that everything is okay. The goal is to protect the heart of your child. If you need to address something, do it in private. Do it in a calm way and at an appropriate time, without blame and without insults. I can tell you this, that your child does not need a courtroom. Your child needs stability. Thirdly, use respectful language even when you don't feel respectful in the moment. This is a skill that you will have to learn, and it takes practice. But respect is not about pretending, it's about choosing what kind of environment you want your child to grow up in. You're doing it not for the sake of the other individual, you are doing it for the sake of the child. Fourthly, focus on what your child needs, not what your child can report. If your child asks questions, because children will ask questions, the answer should be simple. The answer should be age appropriate and not cruel. You can say things like, mom and dad are having problems between adults. You don't have to worry about it. We love you and, we'll handle these issues. I mean, that kind of language gives your child a lifeline. And fifthly, it's important to remember this, that your child loves both parents. That love is not a betrayal. It is loyalty, it is attachment, and it is identity. And if you insult the other parent, you are not just speaking a comment. You're asking that child to fight against their own heart, and that in itself is not fair. Now, I know that parenting can be hard. I know heartbreak and divorce in some instances and disagreements are deeply painful. Your anger may be completely justified, but your child is not your therapist. Your child is not your confidant. They are not a weapon to be manipulated against the other parents. You must rise above your adult grievances and understand that your words have power. Let your words build a protective wall around your child, not a prison. Let them know that it is safe to love both parents. And when you shield your child from conflicts, you give them the greatest gift possible. You give them peace of mind. You give them a childhood. So always remember, choose your words wisely, because they are listening. Even when things become hard, choose respect. Be the adult who chooses your child's emotional safety over your urge to win the arguments. Be the parent who processes the pain without conveying it, without spreading it. Be the voice that teaches that home means love, home means respect.
میں بھٹکا ہوا تھا پریشان تھا میں سہارا بھی مجھ کو ملا تھا نہ کوئی تجھے میں نے سب کے دلوں میں جو ڈھونڈا ملا مجھ کو اپنے ہی دل کے کنارے یا اللہ یا اللہ یا اللہ یا رحیم یا کریم زمیں کے حسن میں شرابور تھا میں اٹھاتا تھا سر ڈھونڈتا تھا میں تجھ کو پہاڑوں ستاروں بدلتی فضاؤں کو جب میں نے سمجھا ملا مجھ کو تو ہی یا اللہ یا اللہ یا اللہ یا رحیم یا کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم لگا کے یہ دل میں نے دنیا سے دیکھا پھر ایسا ہوا دل لگایا یہ تجھ سے نہ در میں نہ شہر میں نہ اپنے ہی گھر میں ملا جو سکون قلب تیرے گھر میں یا اللہ یا اللہ یا اللہ یا رحیم یا کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم یا رحیم.
Well, unfortunately, this is the part of the program where we now look to drop curtains on this particular hour. I want to take the opportunity first up to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. The program this morning has been brought to you through the kind courtesies of Absolute Investments Limited, The Original Barbecue Hut Limited, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Adams Project Management and Construction Limited, and Point Fortune Hardware Limited. I also must take the opportunity as well to say a very special salam and greetings of peace going out to you and yours, our listeners and viewers who would have joined us on the program this morning. To all those who would have messaged via the WhatsApp, via the social media, the social feeds on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you so much for your beautiful words. Thank you so much for your kind messages. I always do appreciate those messages so much. May Allah continue to bless you with goodness in this life as well as in the life of the hereafter. Well, of course, it was indeed an absolute pleasure to be in your company over the past hour or so. By all means, you can catch me next week Friday, God willing, from 5 a.m. as we bring to you another segment of Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education and entertainment. I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Safras Ghani, signing out for this morning. Until next week Friday, please do have an extremely blessed day, a blessed weekend, a blessed week. Stay safe, stay in the mercy of the Almighty. Much love, and may the peace, blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Well, up next is News at 6, followed by Proper Heart. Most definitely do keep it locked on to 103.1 FM for more inspirational and of course motivational programming throughout the course of today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The blazing fire burned like the sun, and all he claimed was God is one, and there was no one by his side. His heart was strong, his faith was right. The friend of Allah, Ibrahim, knew God's promise will stand true. He said, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Allah is enough for me. As I stand here alone, I have nothing to fear, for I trust in Allah, He is all that I need. Fearlessly He faced the Pharaoh, pleading, let my people go. For you are not our Lord, the one who commands the moon, commands the sun. The Prophet Musa stood firm and free. His faith took them towards the sea. He said, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Allah is enough for me. My Lord, open